Hello, I'm Raymond Go, and Nightline begins now. News making the headlines. Datuk Sri Shammuddin expects first of 6 LCS to be delivered within 2 years. And P-hailing sector to come under Transport Ministry's purview. Good morning. The government will report the schedule and progress of the Littoral Combat Ship LCS construction project in stages. Senior Defence Minister Datuk Sri Shammuddin Tun Hussein said he believed the first ship would be delivered to the Royal Malaysian Navy, RMN, within 2 years.
Tetapi untuk Dewan ini saya boleh nyatakan bahawa sekurang-kurangnya dalam masa setahun dua ni saya harap bahawa jelas kapal pertama akan dapat kita siapkan.
Datuk Sri Shammuddin said this during a question and answer session at the Dewan Negara sitting on Monday morning. He added that the Cabinet had given his ministry 6 months to mobilise efforts to revive the project. He also said the government was also giving full cooperation to the Public Accounts Committee, PAC, in its ongoing probe into the issue, and those found guilty will be brought to justice. On August 4th, the PAC disclosed that the committee had held 9 proceedings regarding the LCS issue starting on November 18th, 2020, and the last one on March 8th this year. Results of the proceedings found that the LCS project contract was awarded to the Bausted Naval Shipyard Sdn Bhd in direct negotiation. The government also has paid over 6 billion ringgit. However, not even one LCS ship has been delivered. The P-hailing sector will soon be placed under the purview of the Transport Ministry once amendments to 3 related legislations have been made. Transport Minister Datuk Sri Wee Ka Siong said the move was to provide for proper supervision of the P-hailing service in the country to ensure this sector could remain competitive in the long term and to protect the welfare of the riders.
Pada 5 Ogos 2022 telah bersetuju supaya kerajaan melalui MOT dan agensi-agensi di bawahnya, iaitu Agensi Pengangkutan Awam Darat, Lembaga Pengesanan Kenderaan Perdagangan LPKP Negeri Sabah dan Negeri Sarawak untuk turut mengawal sedia perkhidmatan kenderaan barangan yang disediakan oleh sesuatu perniagaan penghantaran terutamanya yang menggunakan motosikal atau dinamakan perkhidmatan P-hailing.
Datuk Sri Wee said this in a press conference after holding a dialogue with representatives of e-hailing and P-hailing associations in Putrajaya on Monday. He added that the Cabinet on Friday had also agreed to amend the Road Transport Act, Commercial Vehicles Licensing Board Act and Land Public Transport Act for the purpose of supervision and setting regulations. The minister also said that the 3 bills to amend these acts would be tabled for debate and approval at the next Parliament meeting, which, among others, will require P-hailing riders to obtain the Goods Driving Licence GDL. Datuk Sri Wee pointed out that the amendments would also involve lowering the eligible age for obtaining GDL to not less than 18 from the current 21 years in order to enable youths to work as P-hailing riders earlier. On Friday, it was reported that a number of riders in the Klang Valley went on a 24-hour strike to protest against unfair compensation paid to them. A group representing the riders later handed over a memorandum to Grab Malaysia, which listed 5 demands, including a revision of the payment system and better working conditions. The government has yet to make a decision to change any regulations regarding chicken export restrictions that was announced on June 1st. Special Task Force on Jihad Against Inflation Chairman Tan Sri Anwar Musa said the current chicken price policy will be maintained to ensure low chicken prices and priority supply to the local population.
Saya ingin menjelaskan di sini bahawasanya mekanisme mengawal tahap kedudukan bekalan tidak boleh dibuat secara flip-flop. Kita memerlukan masa bagi memastikan bekalan ayam dalam negara, begitu juga bahan-bahan yang lain.
Tan Sri Anwar, who's also Communications and Multimedia Minister, said this in the press conference after chairing the task force's meeting at the Parliament building on Monday. He added it was important that the task force can comprehensively monitor the entire supply chain related to the supply of chicken. This as the government is concerned that there are parties who will take the opportunity to export chicken due to the high price in other countries, thus affecting prices for local supply. He pointed out that the task force will also find out the validity of claims that there is an excess of chicken supply currently in the country. The Dewan Negara was told on Monday that the impact of the COVID-19 related withdrawal programs on the Employees Provident Fund (EPF) members' savings is estimated at 155 billion ringgit. Deputy Finance Minister 1, Datuk Muhammad Shah Abdullah, said 145 billion ringgit was withdrawn by members under the 4 withdrawal programs, and almost 10 billion ringgit was from the impact of the Employee Share Statutory Contribution Rate Reduction Program.
Tahap simpanan ahli KWSP adalah rendah dan sangat membimbangkan, terutamanya setelah pelaksanaan 4 fasiliti pengeluaran berkaitan COVID-19, iaitu air lestari, air sinar, air citra dan pengeluaran khas, dan penggunaan kadar caruman berkanun share pekerja bagi tempoh 27 bulan bermula April 2020 sehingga Jun 2022.
As of June 30th, Datuk Muhammad Shah said a total of 6.62 million members, or 52% of the total of 12.78 million EPF members aged under 55, had savings of less than 10,000 ringgit. Of that total, 4.99 million members, or 75%, were Bumiputras. At the same time, there are 3.2 million members under the age of 55 who are at a very critical savings level of less than 1,000 ringgit, and 2.58 million members, or 81% of them, are Bumiputras. For comparison, Bumiputra members make up 64%, or 8.22 million of the total 12.78 million members of the retirement fund aged below 55. The abolition of the Primary School Achievement Test, UPSR, and the Form 3 Assessment, PT3 tests in the national education system is to ensure that school-based assessment, PBS, can be implemented effectively. Senior Education Minister Dr. Muhammad Radzi Majidin said the implementation of the PBS is not new, as it already started in 2011. However, teachers still focus too much on examinations to ensure students obtain excellent results.
Perkara ini dah ada dalam sistem untuk tempoh yang panjang, lebih daripada 10 tahun. Ramai yang kata kita masih belum bersedia untuk pentaksiran berasaskan sekolah, pentaksiran bilik darjah. Lepas 10 tahun. Kalau 10 tahun kita tak bersedia, berapa puluh tahun kita nak bersedia?
Dr. Radzi added that the abolition of UPSR and PT3 was also to ensure that teachers can implement teaching and learning PDP in a more creative and innovative way to secure a more enjoyable learning environment. He said this in his speech at the Malaysian Education Development Plan 2013 to 2025 Education Transformation Forum in Kuala Lumpur on Monday. The one-day forum was organized by his ministry's Education Performance and Delivery Unit, PADU, to serve as a platform for sharing ideas and the latest direction to improve the quality of the country's people-centered education system. 4 memoranda of understanding and agreement worth 451 million ringgit have been signed at the Malaysian Agriculture, Horticulture and Agro-Tourism Expo MAHA 2022, which is taking place in Serdang, Selangor from August 4th to 14th. The MOUs and MOAs involved strategic partnerships under an initiative by the Agriculture and Food Industries Ministry, MAFI, through the Federal Agricultural Marketing Authority, FAMA, to assist small and medium enterprises explore overseas markets for the export of agro-food-based products. Agriculture and Food Industries Minister Datuk Sri Ronald Kiandi said the signing of the MOUs and MOAs between marketing agents from overseas and local entrepreneurs on Monday was part of the 29 agreements formalized at the event. This include the import and export of frozen durian to China worth 230 million ringgit and for the export of agro-food products to the Hong Kong and China market worth 119.14 million ringgit. The signing ceremony was also witnessed by Senior International Trade and Industry Minister Datuk Sri Muhammad Azmin Ali, who collaborated with MAFI to assist SME entrepreneurs penetrate the global markets. According to MAFI's data, as of Sunday, 404,000 people have visited Maha 2022, with 8.8 million ringgit in sales achieved. Raja Permaisuri Agong Tunku Azizah Amina Maimunah Iskandaria on Monday graced the launch of Synthesis, an art exhibition held in Bangsa, Kuala Lumpur. The exhibition at Gallery Prima in Balai Berita, the New Straits Times Press, from August 1st to September 18th, showcases over 40 batik pieces designed by the Queen, alongside artworks by established and emerging artists. Gallery Prima is the first private art gallery that Tunku Azizah has consented to exhibit her exclusive works, which are block-printed batik, one of the oldest traditional batik-making techniques in Malaysia. Her collection, Batik Indrapura, which uses a combination of batik-making methods and infuses contemporary as well as refreshing designs, is aptly named after the capital city of the medieval kingdom of Pahang. The Queen has also graciously consented for the gallery to display the works of Ramli Malik, one of the country's finest batik artists. Some of these works, which are part of her private art collection, have never been exhibited before. Media Prima Berhad Group Chairman, Datuk Sri Dr. Syed Hussein Al-Junaid, said Gallery Prima was proud to be bestowed the opportunity to display the Queen's beautiful works of batik, alongside the batik-inspired works by local well-known and emerging artists. Both Gallery Prima and participating artists have also agreed to channel a portion of the proceeds from the sale of the artwork to support the Tunku Azizah Fertility Foundation, TAF. Israel and Palestinian fighters declare truce in Gaza. News from the Foreign Front when Nightline returns. Welcome back to the Foreign Front on Nightline. Fuel trucks entered Gaza on Monday, and as an Egypt-brokered truce between Israel and Palestinian fighters held, raising hopes that the intense conflict that left dozens of Palestinians dead has ended. The arrival of vital supplies follows the start of a ceasefire at 11:30 p.m. local time Sunday to stem the worst fighting in Gaza since an 11-day war last year devastated the Palestinian coastal territory. Gaza's health ministry said 15 children were among 44 people killed in 3 days of intense fighting. Despite a flurry of strikes and rocket attacks in the run-up to the truce, neither side had reported any major violations of the agreement overnight. The Israeli military said roads would gradually reopen in the border area on Monday. Taiwan on Monday said it will hold live-fire military drills this week, simulating a defense of the island against a Chinese invasion as Beijing carries out fresh exercises around its neighbor. It was understood that the island's forces will hold anti-landing exercises in the southernmost county of Pingtung on Tuesday and Thursday, which will include the deployment of hundreds of troops and about 40 howitzer guns. The latest war games come after China was accused of simulating a blockade and invasion of Taiwan in its drills in recent days. Those drills had been expected to draw to a close on Sunday, but China on Monday has carried out fresh military drills around Taiwan, defying calls for it to end its largest ever exercises encircling the democratic island. It was reported that Beijing has deployed fighter jets, warships and ballistic missiles, with its army continuing to carry out practical joint exercises and training in the sea and airspace around Taiwan Island. Sports now. National #1 women's doubles pair Buletin and Tina stole the show on the final day of the games as they trounced England's Chloe Birch and Lauren Smith to deliver the 7th gold for the national contingent on Monday. The deafening cheers from the home crowd in the National Exhibition Centre Hall 5 did nothing to rattle Games debutantes Pearly and Tina, as they were simply in their element in the opening game to outplay the English duo 21-5. Inspired, Pearly and Tina continued their crackling performance, including a delicate backhand return by Tina and a flurry of fiery smashes to rake up the points and seal the gold medal with a 21-8 win in just 33 minutes. Thanks to the heroics of Pearly and Tina, Malaysia have now surpassed their 6-goal target for Birmingham 2022, thus equaling the 7-goal achievement at the 2018 edition in Gold Coast, Australia. Earlier, Ng Zee Yong may have lost the Commonwealth Games men's singles gold on Monday. But it was nonetheless a fantastic campaign for him, considering he was not supposed to be part of the Malaysian team. In the epic men's singles final, the world number 42, a late replacement for Lee Zijia, fought tooth and nail before losing 19-21, 21-9, 21-16 to India's world number 10, Lakshya Sen. Ziyong had defeated reigning world champion Loh Ken Yew of Singapore and World Championships silver medalist K. Srikant of India en route to the final. The 22-year-old ended his campaign with 1 gold in mixed team event and 1 silver in a men's singles event. The national contingent also collected 2 bronze medals on Monday. The combination of Nur Dabita Sabri and Muhammad Shafiq Puteh delivered a bronze medal in the mixed synchronized 3-meter springboard, which was competed for the first time in the Commonwealth Games. The duo were placed with 299.04 points after 5 dives. The event's gold medal went to Scottish pair, while Australia bagged the silver medal. Malaysia ended their squash campaign on the final day of the Games with a bronze medal, courtesy of Rachel Arnold and Aifa Azman in the women's doubles. Rachel and Aifa defeated teammates Nor Aina Amani Ampandi and Chan Yi Wen 11-3, 11-9 in the third-placing match at the University of Birmingham Squash and Hockey Centre. New Zealand's Joelle King and Amanda Landers-Murphy clinched gold after edging England's Sarah Jane Parry and Alison Waters. Up next on Nightline, police smash drug ring run by 6 family members. This and more after this short break. Nightline continues. The Kuala Lumpur High Court has dismissed UMNO President Datuk Sri Ahmad Zahid Hamidi's application for an interim injunction to prevent former Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin from issuing any statement on the allegation that he had sought help to solve or postpone the trial of his criminal cases. Judge Dato' Rozana Ali Yusof made the decision via online proceedings on Monday. Dato' Sri Zahid's counsel Shahrul Fazli Kamarul Zaman said the judge dismissed the application on grounds that the issues raised, whether the statements by the defendant were defamatory or not, must be decided at a trial. Therefore, the case will proceed for trial, and the court fixed October 3rd for the next case management. In a suit filed last April 4th, Dato' Sri Zahid was seeking an ex parte injunction for Tan Sri Muhyiddin or his representative to withdraw the defamatory statements or similar defamatory statements against the Bagan Datuk Member of Parliament. In a statement of claim, Dato' Sri Zahid alleged that Tan Sri Muhyiddin made a defamatory statement with ill intention and malice against him on February 16th during the 15th Johor State Election Campaign Trail in Mersing, which was also published by several media outlets. The statement by Tan Sri Muhyiddin had implied that Dato' Sri Zahid had used a shortcut to settle and postpone his ongoing court cases, and that he had asked for the former's help to intervene in the court cases and the judiciary system, as well as to order the dissolution of the Johor State Assembly. In Perak, a man left a message and bade farewell to his wife before he was found dead with slash wounds on his neck behind a factory in Dataran Kledang, Lembu in Ipoh on Monday. The body of the 58-year-old man was found at 9:46 a.m. by a passerby who then alerted the police. District Deputy Police Chief Superintendent Muhammad Nordin Abdullah said the man had earlier contacted his wife via WhatsApp and told her to take all the savings in the bank for her and the children before ending the message with "bye." Checks on the body showed a 16-centimeter gash at the neck, while a meat cleaver was found next to the victim. Preliminary investigation showed that the victim, who runs a wholesale business, was suffering from depression due to financial woes. Authorities added that a post-mortem examination will be conducted on his body to establish the exact cause of death. For now, the case has been classified as sudden death. In Pulau Pinang, police busted a drug trafficking syndicate with the arrest of 6 members of a family and seized drugs worth nearly 700,000 ringgit in a series of raids last Thursday. Seberang Perai Utara Police Chief ACP Muhammad Razi Ahmad said apart from selling drugs in the local market, the syndicate also exported drugs using courier service. In a press conference on Monday, Muhammad Razi said after a week-long surveillance, police managed to arrest the mastermind and his lover, aged 36 and 32 respectively, by a roadside in Bayan Lepas on August 4th. Later on the day, authorities stormed a house in Taman Bagan in Butterworth and arrested 4 of the main suspects' family members aged between 32 and 66, before conducting 2 more raids at a courier company in Bayan Lepas and again at the family's house, where drugs comprising 592 grams of shabu and MDMA powder weighing over 13.4 kilograms were seized. It was believed that the drugs could cater to 3,319 addicts, while the syndicate had been active since June this year, raking in hundreds of thousands of ringgit in profits. All the suspects tested negative for drugs, but 3 of them had previous criminal records. They have been remanded until August 9th to facilitate investigations under the Dangerous Drugs Act. In Negeri Sembilan, a married couple and their daughter were charged in the Kuala Pilah Sessions Court on Monday with abusing a 5-year-old girl. R. Guna Silan, his wife K. Nagama, and their daughter G. Nisha, aged between 21 and 42, claimed trial after the charge was read out to them before Judge Norma Ismail. The 3 of them, as persons having the care of the child, were jointly charged with beating the child with a cane, kicking and splashing her with hot water, causing her to suffer injuries on the back, chest, both legs, head and face. It was alleged that the family committed the offence at a house in Taman Sri Masan, Bandar Sri Jempol, between July 15th and 19th. The charge under the Child Act and read together with the Penal Code provides a maximum fine of 50,000 ringgit or imprisonment of up to 20 years or both if found guilty. The judge granted bail of 5,000 ringgit with 1 surety to each of the accused and set August 23rd for mention. Gothenburg, the world's largest active ocean-going wooden sailing ship, has arrived in London. The vessel, open to the public, is expected to sail across the city and fire cannons next to Tower Bridge. Let's take a look at the replica of this 18th century replica tall sailing ship as we wrap up Nightline this time around. With that, I'm Raymond Go. Thank you for watching and stay safe.